What's up? What's up? What up? What up? What up? What up, brothers? What's up, brothers? The tune's down here a little bit. The tune's a little bit loud. My apologies, brothers. It's just my intro coming in here. Hey, brothers, how you doing, man? This is Tony Berry. I'm here at BSP, Black, Sophisticated, and Prosperous. I'm just doing a quick, kind of like an emergency, video tonight here. Because I want to let the brothers know what's going on. This is in response to a stream that I listened to for a few minutes a day that I found out about last night while I was on IP's channel, where the brother Theo had donated spending $30,000 of his money for a manosphere in excuse me, my apologies, I touched the button here, for manosphere in Atlanta, Georgia, coming up on December 3rd and 4th. And I will be helping Theo out with that. I mean, I really will be just doing a little bit. All I'm doing is just providing some small info on what it is that I do and the type of positions that are in my field. Theo's taking over the rest. The brother's going to show up and do what they got to do to get things done. But so here's my thing here, guys. What has gotten me all wound up on this is there was a brother out there, and I'm not really going to mention his name because I'm not going to get this man any props whatsoever. But everybody that comes on the stream or watches this video know exactly who I'm talking about. And I think what I need to do is I need to go ahead and open up a panel, but I may be missing a few things here on that. So I'll have to get more involved in that StreamYard panel there. So what I'm getting at here, brothers, is this. Here it is, a man like Theo gets up here and he's spending $30,000 of his money. And this guy apparently came on as a troll. And so he decided that he wanted to call Theo a liar. And then he went ahead and made a stream about Theo being a liar. Now, like I said, I only got up there for a few minutes and I got on there and said, hey, how could you criticize a brother like this that's spending $30,000 of his own money to help other brothers out? And the response I got was, oh, Tony Berry, you stupid, or this, that, the other. So I went ahead and I responded back and I asked the man, I said, well, I don't see you spending any money. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not spending money, if you're not putting your money where your mouth is, then why are you talking about a brother that's actually putting up his money? He acting like you can just throw $30,000 around like it's water. Jeff Bezos wouldn't even give anybody $30,000 without doing something, even though he made a great contribution to the Obama thing the other day for $100 million. But still, he's getting something out of this, right? Theo's not getting anything but a tax write-off. That's about it. All right. So I just want to put that out there. Now, I'm calling this confused black men. And here's why I'm calling it confused black men, is because I was really appalled that he had 25,000 subscribers. And if you look at the numbers, that means he has 25,000 subscribers. Those subscribers go out and talk. You turn your head. That's 500,000 black males or black people that are confused just because of that one stream. Now, fortunately, over the years, since 2006, he has not reached as many people as he would like. And I even got on his channel and I told him, look, you need some help. I mean, you need somebody in your corner that's going to tell you straight up where you're messing up at. But he did not want to get up there and say anything about it. He didn't want my advice. He didn't want my help, nothing like that. So it's okay. It's okay. I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a chat here while I'm talking to you guys. I'm not concerned at all. I just basically said, hey, you know what? Good luck, man. When he hit me back, he says, well, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. Okay, great. That's okay. Look, good luck with your channel. Thank you for your responses. I'm out of here. I don't need to talk to that person anymore. There are a lot of confused black men out there, gentlemen. I was like I said, I was surprised at the numbers that I saw. That means that for every one of us high value males or males that are aspiring to be high value males, Henry's, gentlemen, young brothers like Jay Takeshi, Jay Bones, those guys coming up, for every one of us, there's 10 of them, right, that are just totally ignorant, totally confused. This guy got up there and he started spreading all kind of wrong news about Theo and the IP channel. And this is all based on misinformation, and he's spreading misinformation. Does that sound familiar? Yes, it does. You know what's familiar about it? It is how the single mom spreads. This is how the BW spreads misinformation in this country. Now, I'm not saying that every BW does that, but many of them do. They're the worst when it comes to spreading misinformation. So when information gets spread and it's not right, it creates confusion. And there you have it, a confused black male. The confused black male is the most dangerous human being on the planet, because a confused black male will commit crimes, will run people over like they did in Wisconsin, will get involved in gangland shootings, will shoot up drugs, will create havoc in his own society, will father as many children as you want without worrying about, paying for the consequences. These are what I call confused black males. Okay. And I'm going to touch base on this. This is not going to be a long video. I just wanted to get up here in response to that video I saw the other night, because I know, and I got to set up my live chat for future videos. I'm going to see if anybody wants to do a live or be on the panel with me. But I was just basically just so surprised at what I saw and appalled, because I just could not believe that anyone could come up with a negative response to what it is that Brother Theo was trying to do for the community. I was really, really, really surprised and shocked and appalled. And quite frankly, I was angry at first. I've calmed down since then, but I know that there's a few other brothers out there, that I talked to today, Derek Taylor, Josh Epps. Those guys looked at the videos and they was just as pissed as I was. And they were like, oh my God, we see how you were feeling. You know what I'm saying? Josh was saying the LA was going to come out of him. The Chicago would have came out of Derek, I'm sure. And I know for me, the Philly was about ready to come out. But we're men and we respect each other. And I basically got on that brother's side and I said, look, I'm not up here to disrespect you. I'm not up, hey, good luck with you and your following. I just think that with only 500,000 views since 2006, so if I could divide that right, I can give you an average of what his viewership is since he started, right? Since he got his ass on YouTube. So if I look at my little calculator here and I thought I saw a number like 500,000 people roughly, or 500. It was actually 506,000 to be exact. So if you go 506,000 and then you divide that by 2006 was 15 years ago, 15, that means that he's only averaging 33,733 views a year. Okay. Now let's compare that to IP's channel, who IP's up to like 814,500 people since 2014. If you divide that by 7 years, he's averaging 116,357,000 viewers. Guys, you know me. If you're watching this video, you know me. I'm Tony Berry. I'm all about the numbers. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to see if I can sign on to my StreamYard, because I really want to bring this up. I don't know if this is gonna work for me, but I want to be able to bring in a panel. Maybe I just have to do it next time. But if I log in to see if I can do my little count here, um, and they sent me an email. So they sent it to my email. So I got to go to my email and check here and see if this is going to pop up. So go to Gmail. They sent me a code. Let me see. Yep, my friends at StreamYard sent me a code. So there it is. I just want to see if I can start setting up a live panel here because I really would like to get the brothers involved. I know Brother Derek Taylor. I'd love to have him up here on the chat. Also, Josh Epps, a couple other brothers out there that I know. So the broadcast. Okay, so I guess this is what they mean by create a broadcast. Is this what it is? Okay, okay, so I will have to set that up next. So I will set that up next time. Brothers, my apologies tonight if you can't get on, but I will set that up next time. So yes, so let me get back into this. So once again, my apologies for not setting up that live that chat stream. But what I'm here to say doesn't lessen the word of what I have to say here tonight. So yes, brothers. So let's get back to this. So yes, a lot of black males are confused. Now you know me, you know the numbers. I just put the numbers about the viewership between the two channels up there. I'm not going to mention the other channel. They don't need no play. I'm not going to say anything about them. All right. So here's the thing. So 75% of black males in this country are raised by single moms. The other 25% out of those, about 15% are raised by boys themselves who are raised by single moms. So really only 10% of our society are getting raised the way we need to get raised in order for us to compete in this environment. Okay, keep in mind, you know the numbers. Keep in mind, blacks are sitting on 1/2 of 1% of the wealth. That is the exact same amount of wealth that we held at the end of the Civil War. Yes, yes. So we have some issues there. All right, we really do. So in order for us to improve our standing, our wealth standing, we need to raise our children right. We need to look deep in ourselves and we need to improve ourselves and our well-being, which is why I have this channel up here. We need to improve our self-esteem. We need to build wealth. We need to build long-lasting relationships. Those are all part of being a man in our world. And these men that do this are not confused. Okay? So remember tonight we're talking about confused men. Confused men don't think in generations. They only want to get wealth for themselves. They don't care about building a community of wealth. They don't care about, because I'm not asking anyone on this platform ever to share their wealth. We are not talking about sharing wealth. We are talking about building a community of wealth, if you will. You see where I'm going with this, brothers. A community of wealth means, and I had this conversation with Dante Grono the other night or the other day, a very intelligent brother out of California, him and his twin brother, Eric, very intelligent young men, okay? And we talk in generations. We have to think in generations. And what I mean by building a community of wealth is, just like Derek, just like Josh, just like the brothers all in the group, they have children. I have children. That means that our children will form a conglomerate, just like us. They will be together. They will do things. They will network. We have to build a system of networking amongst high value males. That way, our children will also continue to be high value individuals and they will build high value families and they will find high value mates first and then they'll build high value families and so on and so on. So it starts from us because this is where we're at. Because we can forget about the previous generation. We can't do anything about that. But now me and my wife decided that too. We have to start now. My wife's family is good. My wife's family treats me better than my family treats me. Trust me. So I folded into that, and now I'm focused on making sure that my future generations will be very prosperous and will build solid networks. And what I mean by a solid network is this, brothers. When you send your children, your sons, excuse me, brothers, when you send your sons and your daughters out into the world, you will know that if they are amongst other like-minded individuals, then they themselves will be successful. Everybody around them will be successful. That is what I mean by community. Okay? A neighborhood, for example, and we have a lot of black neighborhoods, they are not communities. And let me give you a difference between a community and a neighborhood. A community, if something happens, like today when I came home from work, I saw this occasionally we get these trucks in our neighborhood. They like to sell pizzas and burgers and all this other shit. Okay, great. But I don't need this food parked in front of my house. And in front of my house, across the street is a wetlands. I get home from picking my son up. There's a guy parked right in front of that, in front of my house, and he's in front of the driveway going into the wetlands. And I pulled up to him and said, yo, no, you can't park here because this is a driveway where people need to come in. Maintenance needs to get in here, number one. So he said, well, I usually park. I said, no, you don't. You usually park down the street. I don't need this fool parked in front of my house because I don't want that noise and that smell. Because they have a lot of noise. Sometimes they like to hook up the generators to the trucks, and then they're cooking stuff, so the smoke is going up in the air. And granted, if I have my windows open, I don't want that smell in my house. Okay, so I, as a concerned person in my community, I'm bringing that up. A neighborhood, they don't care. They might have 15 trucks along the street. Nobody cares. You got trailers and you got somebody working on their car and leaving it parked out there for months in their garage. They don't care about property values and nothing. That's a neighborhood. That's not a community. A community is where people care about what's happening in their surroundings, not only in their house, but outside their homes. So what I'm getting at is we as high value males, we as people who take a lot into consideration, we are building our network. We are building it right now amongst our children. Dante Guarno's children, Eric's children, Josh Epps' children, Derek's children, Jay Bones' children, Jay Takeshi's children, Sean Davis's champs, all of the children, Jay IPs, Thomas Demonhams. I can Theos. I can name so many different people that I've come in contact with, and I've been fortunate enough to meet these brothers. We are building a community to where Theo's kids can pick up a phone and say, hey, to my son, hey, Kenzo, hey, I'm going to be in Seattle next week. Can we hang out? And then Kenzo said, yes, we can. And Theo's son knows that when he's hanging out with my son, that it's all legit. He's not going to roll up in some guy with some needle up his arm or some snort up his nose or rob in the store while he's driving him and picking him up to the airport. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean by networks. Confused males, they are the ones that run into those issues. A confused male, a descendant of a confused male, a child, a offspring, a kid, whatever you want to call it, a snatch, not a snatch, but a sucker, whatever you want to call the human beings that they produce, they will run into all types of negative situations that can get them thrown in jail or even killed or end up homeless on the street. Okay? These are the products of confused males. The video that I saw the other day, last night, that was a product of a confused male that obviously grew up in a household where he had a single parent, or if he had two parents, his father was a boy, okay, who came from that system, or a simp, because simps are not made to raise children. Okay, simps are not qualified to raise children. And I'm going to give you another thing about what I mean by confused males and males that are not confused. Now, another example of a confused male. Like I said, you've seen how they like to spread misinformation. A confused male tries his best, spends his time, wastes his life backing up his bullshit. Okay, that is what a confused male does. 5 years down the road, he will say some shit that he said 5 years ago, that he heard that he was misinformed about 5 years ago, or he misinformed himself, or he misinformed his subscribers, and they came back in a circle and misinformed him because he misinformed them. This shit is cyclical. That's what it is. It's cyclical shit. That's what confused males have, cyclical attitudes, okay, in the negative sense of the word, okay? So their habits are bad habits, if you will. They're misinformation, they're bad habits, they're poor decision making, they're poor, in some senses, poor hygiene, poor dress codes, poor choice of females, poor choice of property, a poor choice of places to live, poor choices of vehicles that they choose, poor choices of food that they eat, poor choices of jobs that they get, poor choices of what they do to their children, etc., etc., etc. This bad habit, poor choices with a confused male is cyclical. So eventually what happens is this, brothers, and I'm just getting warmed up now, brothers. I thought I was going to shorten this up, but I'm getting warmed up now because I'm about pissed at what this faggot did. All right. Now here's the thing. The thing about this is this. Confused males that are in this cyclical behavior, bad decision making, they never get out of it because, like I said, they have surrounded themselves with bullshit. In other words, their own shit that they started. Okay, their own circle will always come back to get them. Okay, they may be 6 years later, forget some shit that they said on the stream back in 07 or 08, and somebody was like, yeah, man, did you see what happened? Man, I don't like the way that dude looked, man. Oh man, Atlanta, oh man, they ain't got nothing big but this and that over in Atlanta. Why would he have a daggone conference in Atlanta? Ha ha ha. Oh my God, did you hear about that? And guess what? Now you got all these people in his group who are not going to partake in what Theo has going on in Atlanta because they believe their own bullshit, and they're going to miss out on making big money and getting a lot of money and making good living for themselves. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean by being a confused male. They end up being mired in their own bullshit. And another thing about a confused male, this is the shit that they do. Let's just imagine this. You're in a big home, all right? Confused male, they see all these other rooms that they can't get into yet, but they don't even try to get into those rooms. So they're going to stay in their own room, right? Then inside their little room, there's the rug in the middle. Now, the so-called smarter confused males, which means that they believe a little bit less of the bullshit, they're the ones living near the door to try to get the other rooms. That the door that now has been locked because they've been so confused, right? So now they'll never be able to get out of that room. But check it out. There's that rug in the middle of the floor, right? And now a lot of those confused males are under the rug. And what's happening? They're sweeping a lot of shit under the rug. It's gathering. But now they're running out of space because all the bullshit that they put in there is starting to come out from under the rug. And guess what? It's starting to spread to the edge of the room. And what happens when shit spreads to the edge of the room and you run out of space? It starts to pile up. Now, keep in mind now, this is not a room with a 9-foot ceiling. This is a room with a 7-foot standard or maybe even a 6.5-foot 1930 old style home room. Okay, so the shit's piling and piling and piling up, right? It's piling up to the point to where they can't stand each other. So what they start doing, they start making more bad decisions. They start trying to kill each other off. They become like crabs in buckets trying to get out. They're trying to find a window. Well, they can't find the window. You want to know why they can't find a window? Because their bullshit has sealed up the entire window. So they have nowhere to escape. And you know what ends up happening? They end up dying in their own shit. That, my brothers, is a confused male, a confused black male. They end up dying in their own shit. And then they can even hear all the good living outside the door. They can hear the life. They can feel it. They can't see it, but they can hear the Vancouvers, the Japans, the Central Asias, the Europes, the Brazils, the Caribbean, Costa Ricas, Colombias. They can hear it out there. But they don't, number one, they don't know where it is because they can't see beyond their bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Brothers, they can't see. That is what a confused male is, and that is how they end up. Now, let's talk about the opposite end, the male that is not confused. Okay. And the male that's not confused does not necessarily need to be a high value male. It just needs to be a male that is starting to discover his purpose and is on track to find a successful mate, to building wealth, to building up his well-being. His self-esteem is there, his self-confidence is there, his life is on par to create success. Okay, that is the opposite end. And now, myself, I've surrounded myself with men of that nature, the men whose name that I mentioned earlier on this platform. I just met these brothers, but I can already tell that this circle is good. Now, our circle is getting bigger and brighter, right? Not only do we have the room, in that one room in the house, we have all the rooms in the house, and each one of those rooms we can go anywhere we want, and we can intermingle with each other, and our children can intermingle, and their children will be able to intermingle. And guess what? That room where the shit's in, guess what they're gonna do? Now that they figured it out, they can just take their saws and they can just cut that room off and ship that room out to the recycle bin or wherever the garbage dump, and they don't have to worry about it anymore. That is what I mean by high value men who are not confused. I meant to say men who are not confused, creating a community of wealth, of health, and well being, a prosperous community. Because if you create a prosperous community, no matter what happens, there will be jobs. Why will there be jobs? Because Black-owned businesses will prevail. Derek Taylor, business owner, Global One Solutions. This brother he just reeks of success. And I'm just bringing him up because I know that he has this business and his business is very successful. He reeks of success. Sean Camp, he's got a business. He reeks of success with his appraisal business. These are businessmen. These are brothers that have business. I myself have a side business, but still, I can call myself successful. Well, obviously I am, right? So these we are successful. Theo, he gets paid quite a few bucks out there, and he is a businessman himself, even though he doesn't call himself a businessman, but he is very successful. You see what I'm getting at, brothers? These are movers and shakers. These are the kind of people you want hanging around you. You see what I'm saying? Because with Black businesses, what this means is this: when you have Black, excuse me, brothers, let me go ahead and say this one more time, man. Not just Black business, Black-owned businesses. Okay, let's get this straight. Black-owned businesses, because a Black business is bullshit. We don't want no business owned by some other fool and put the Black face on it. No, Black-owned business. Because what happens with Black-owned businesses? Black-owned businesses create jobs. Josh Epps, brother, thank you, man. I'm sorry, man. I wanted to bring you on the panel, you and Derek and them, but I got to set that up. But, brother, thank you so much, man. But what I mean, brothers, is Black-owned businesses create Black-owned jobs. Because here's the thing. Remember now, brothers, we're talking about the confused male, confused Black men. Confused Black society, they have to go out of their society and they have to knock on the white man, Asian man, Native American, East Indian, Hispanic man, Mexican American. They have to knock on their doors looking for a job. That is why you have so many BWs out there with master's degrees sweeping floors at McDonald's, or brothers with high degrees out there cleaning floors, because they have no place in the Black community to get a job because there's no businesses. But with people like us here on this platform, we create the community, we create the network, we create jobs. Josh Epps' son could be like, hey, yo, hello, Kenzo, man. Hey, man, I just got out of college, just graduated from USC or University of British Columbia, because I know my boy's going to he wants to go to University of British Columbia up in Vancouver. And I know that you have this software business, or you have a software network hooked up, and I was wondering if I could come in, or vice versa. Maybe Kenzo might be asking Josh F's son, or Derek Taylor's son, for a position, right? But what am I getting at? Black-owned businesses create black-owned jobs, meaning that we get real wealth, we get real wages. Because numbers, contrary to proper belief, I know a lot of people may not know this. Even myself, I fall in this category, and maybe even Theo. Black men get paid 30% less than their white counterparts. Why? Because we have to go to the Zwarte world to get a job. Okay? So they are on average, if you go to blackdemographics.com, you'll see it, or go to the U.S. labor statistics, you'll see it. But we are getting paid 30% less than these mofos because of we are black. Now imagine, brothers. Just imagine, Josh, just imagine you brothers coming up, and I'm laughing, man, because it's beautiful to feel like this. Just imagine your kids are coming up to my business, and your sons, beautiful brothers out there, young men, in the early 20s, getting their life started. They just got out of college, or even if they got out of trade school, whatever they want to do. They coming up to me in my panel here, and they're looking for a gig, and or Derek, or they're going to Global One Solutions looking for a job. Do you know that they have a better chance of getting a gig because they already know you? See, this is how the white world works. See, let me give an example of what I mean by how the whites think. How they think, what they do. So let's say that a white man loses his job tomorrow, or a female, right? She gets laid off. They got cutbacks or some bullshit, right? She had a nice cushy job. He had a cushy job. He or she making about, the woman making about 98 a year. He was probably making 140. So he loses his job. You think he's gonna be sweating? No. What he's gonna be doing is he's gonna be like, oh, hey, Mike. Oh yeah, I just got laid off. So what are you gonna do? Well, I was thinking about taking the trip to Tuscany for a year, Italy. I want to go check my roots, just travel around Europe. And then when I get back, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on my home. I got some home projects I want to do. And then I may go back to work then. So here it is. They take their asses over to Europe for 6 months. And this is minus the pandemic bullshit. They go over there for 6 months. They literally travel around and winding it up in Tuscany and shit. Taking the train from Frankfurt to Moscow, having a good fucking time, Spain, been all over Europe, did all this, did all that. They come back 8 months later, and I live in the Northwest, in the summertime, because the summertime is so beautiful. They come back in June. Weather's beautiful here in June, right? She might take a trip up to Vancouver on the weekend and shit, or go to the San Juans on a boat, just kicking. He might do some deep sea fishing, just on some bullshit. And then he gets back and starts working on his house. And he's been working on his house. Now it's August. His grass is looking nice and all this other shit. Then he walks down the street, or he goes to Starbucks, right? He runs into another white male, or she runs into another white male or female. And they say, oh, hey, Julie. Ooh, you're back. Yeah, I'm back. How was Europe, baby? Oh, it was beautiful. I had a good time. I just got back from Vancouver, and we went to the San Juans and whatnot. Or if you're looking at back east, Cape Cod or some shit. Or if you go to California, oh, I was in Catalina or Santa Barbara. And, oh, great. I'm glad you're back because we have a position for you if you want it. Okay. And you can start whenever you want. I know you're working on your house. I know you said you're going to work on your house. Let's see. It's August the 22nd. What do you think about October 1st? You want to do it October 1st to start? Then she'll be like, well, let me get back to you on that. I'll call you on that next week. That's the white world. That's the white community. That's how they work. A black person loses their job, we got to find a job the next day. Now, fortunately, the high-value black males up on this platform, we don't have to find a job the next day. But the confused black man, his ass is going to be struggling to find a job. You think that asshole that did that stream is going to be able to say to these brothers, hey, man, I'm going to spend $30,000 to help you brothers make 6 figures. You think he's going to be doing that? Oh, no. He's going to be spreading more misinformation. And misinformation to me, misinformation plus ego plus I need to get more ratings up on my YouTube channel equal bullshit. Okay, that's what it does, brothers. I'm not holding back. I told you guys when I'm doing this channel, I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not holding back. We are not going to do that. We're not blowing smoke up nobody's ass. This shit is real. The confused black male is out. The confused black male has no clue because they are confused. They are mired in their own bullshit. Now, let's flip the script here. Like I said, 5 years later, me and Derek and Josh, whoever else is up there, Sean Davis and them, we shooting shit up there in either Vancouver or fuck it, you might decide you want to go to Dubai and have a conference just doing shits and grins, right? At the fucking Burj, walking down the street. Our wives are walking around shopping, doing whatever they want to do, right? Flip that script, right? The same thing that we were talking about today, then we'll hear somebody else talking about it or giving us information that we forgot about. But guess what? It's good information, baby. It's good information. And that information will put money in your pocket. You know why? Because good information is residual. Yes. And it makes you money and it builds wealth. Bad information, misinformation is also residual, but in a negative way. It adds on top of the bullshit and more bullshit and more bullshit and more bullshit to the point to where they can't even look at themselves in the mirror, to the point to where they're on the bus with one tooth in their mouth talking shit, can't even get the words out. They can't even pronounce words because they never took care of their health and their teeth are falling out. This is the product of the confused black male. That's the confused black male. So, brothers, I'm going to end this. I know it's late. I know, it's time to get some sleep, time to get some rest. But I just had to get up here and say this because the confused black male is the most dangerous human being on the planet because they don't even know they're confused. I got you, brothers, right? The motherfuckers don't even know they're confused. All right. So anyway, this is Tony B. Black, sophisticated, and prosperous, baby. BSP. We going places. We ain't bullshitting. I told you guys, we are not bullshitting around. And I'm going to say a quote because now, I use it when I need to use it, right? I love the quote like Snoop Dogg was saying a few years back. You fuck with us, we got to fuck you up. I thought you fucking knew, right? We will come back at you in a cordial way. We never get physical because we're men. We restrain ourselves, but we ain't holding back on what we say because this shit's true. The confused black man is confused, and he doesn't even know he's confused. It's just like people are slaves and they don't even know they're slaves. You don't have to call them slaves anymore. You don't have to tell them they're slaves anymore because they don't even fucking know they're slaves. They don't even fucking know they're confused. And a confused black male will never get the high value female. They will be stuck and mired in pork belly bullshit, 300, 400 pound females, licking their feet, working their ass off on the treadmill and never happy and can't even make a decision about their children. Confused black men can't even make decisions concerning their children. That's how confused they are. All right? Peace out, brothers. We're not confused. We know what the fuck we doing and we know what the fuck we saying. Tony Berry, I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and raise these tunes up as I go out. Simple things, because that's what it's about. Jazz Holdouts, thank you. I'll see you, brothers, on the next live stream. IP's average viewership. Oh shit, is that my man Sean Davis? Wait, I was ready to get up out of here. Yo, don't worry, brother. Play that bitch back, man. Play it back. And I didn't get the live stream up anyway. I gotta hook up a live stream to get the panel going, brother. Gotta get the panel going. Trust me, Tony Berry don't be holding back. Black, sophisticated, and prosperous. We ain't holding back. Love you, brothers, man.